Well, folks, here we go again. Another episode of Random Subjects from Everyday Life with myself, Dave Clark, in brackets, Dustbin Dave. And today, I'm not with one guest, but I'm with two guests. And we are chatting about cold water swimming. So, without further ado, welcome to Tracy and Andrea. So, hello Tracy and Andrea.
Hello.
Now, we're in a little group, aren't we? With Joanne as well. Now, Joanne unfortunately couldn't be with us today, but we all do cold water swimming over the year, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
So, Tracy, why do you go in the sea all year round, and what got you started?
I've been doing it since I was little, and I lived at Winterton, and I just love it. It's just like a natural connection.
So, when you used to go in when you was little, did you used to go in all year round, or is that more of a newer thing?
It's a newer thing.
Yeah. So when did you start? Was it about 4 or 5 years ago?
Just before lockdown.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Just after lockdown, one or the other.
and how about you, Andrea? When did you start doing it?
Well, I've always been a swimmer. My dad was a deep sea diver.
Yeah.
So I was taught quite a young age to enjoy the sea, although my mum's terrified of it. I loved it. And then I've always swam in the summer. But I actually used to see you, didn't I, Tracy, on the beach?
Yeah.
Swimming October, November time, and I used to laugh and say, oh my God, is it cold in there today? And then I went on holiday to Cornwall, and every day I was in the sea in Cornwall in
Cool.
September.
Yeah.
And when I came home, I was like, why don't I do this? I live on the seaside.
Yeah. So you fancy started it from there?
Yeah, I thought I'm going to start. So I spoke to Tracy and said, can I join you? And Jo was already swimming with you.
Yeah.
Me, 'cause she...
And I joined the Little Mermaids group,
Yeah.
and the rest is history.
That's right. And why do you think you go in all year round? Is there a certain reason why, or
Yeah, it's just
Yes,
a
a
buzz.
buzz.
It's a buzz.
you
And
get
we're
a buzz?
we're on
You
a
get buzz
high.
from it?
We
Yeah.
just makes the rest
Yeah.
of the day more bearable.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm probably the same. I'll probably go in because of that and the health benefits as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
We'll cover them a bit later. And yeah, you do get addicted to it as well, don't you?
Absolutely.
And I think I started. It was probably soon after you started, Tracy. I remember Joanne got me into it. Joanna Cobb, who's she got me into it, and then I think you came soon after it as well, Andrea, didn't you?
I can't remember, Dave, to be honest. I can't remember when.
You weren't far apart. I think me and Jo started just before lockdown, and you
Yeah.
came in that autumn, didn't you, Andy?
Yeah. And
That
yes, well, since then, I mean, that first year was a bit tough, wasn't it? I mean, I remember I started with a wetsuit, and then I soon abandoned that.
Yeah.
Well,
That's too much fat,
Yeah,
isn't it?
wetsuits, they're just a nightmare to get on and
Yeah.
off, aren't they?
Yeah.
I literally used to do 50 strokes in the winter.
Did ya?
50
Yeah.
strokes, but then Jo come out with the watch and
Right.
everything. Oh, we're doing this long and that long
Yeah.
and whatever. And that's where it's got extended.
And
I
then, of
think.
course, that first time, when you're taking it over, what you normally do, like, for years and years, I used to do, like, what, April to about October?
Yeah.
Never,
that's the same,
ever
yeah.
used to think of going in after that.
No.
So that when you go into that territory, that's when it can get tough.
Yeah.
But it's good to go in with a group, innit? Or
Oh,
certainly,
definitely.
certainly not on
Shouldn't
your
go
own.
in on your own.
And
yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
it's the health benefits. I'm going to list a few health benefits and see whether you two can connect with any of them. Now, the health benefits of cold water swimming include it boosts your immune system,
I agree.
Yeah.
it improves your circulation,
Yeah.
I guess so.
it,
Don't know.
it burns calories.
Not so sure.
I wish it
Supposed
burned
to.
more.
Yeah.
I'd be as
Burnt more
thin as a
calories.
rake if it did.
It reduces stress.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
yes, definitely.
Now, one that we all can identify with this one, you experience a natural high.
Yeah, you
Yes.
do. Yeah.
It's supposed to lower your blood pressure
Yeah.
as well, and relieves pain
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
boosts mental health. So,
Yeah.
Tracy, what health benefits have you found from cold water swimming?
Just like you say, your mental health. Your mental health. Always happy. Never,
and sort of
Oh,
getting
yeah,
that natural high
yeah.
and
natural high.
setting you up for the day?
Don't usually get many colds and things, and if I do,
No.
they don't last long.
That's right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What about you, Andrew? What main health benefit have you experienced since you've been cold water swimming?
I'll tell you what the biggest one was. don't like talking about the menopause, men, do they? But your wife will be going through it at some point. You need to tell her to get in the water, because I really, really struggled with night sweats during the menopause. Yeah. So much so that I hardly had any sleep. And as soon as I started cold water swimming, they didn't go away. Right. But they really improved. Oh, well, so for me, that really helped. Yeah. And the more sleep I had, the better my mental health was, the better I felt all day. Definitely. So it then impacts your whole well-being.
I think it seems to benefit people in a different way, doesn't it? Everyone has their own little benefit from the cold water swimming and what they experience. I mean, for me, I'd say the major thing is it's boosted my immune system. Yeah. Because before I started going in the sea all year round, obviously, as I work outside, as soon as I started, especially this time of year and December, as soon as I started going into shops around Christmas, every single year I used to get a really bad cold. Yeah. Every single year I was ill for Christmas. Oh. No. Yeah. But since we're going in, I think this could be our 5th year now.
Is it really?
Coming up. I'm sure it is.
Well,
it is. Yeah.
Since then, I haven't been ill. Yeah. So that says it all, doesn't it? And if I get the slightest sign of a cold, like a slightest sniffle, it's gone the next day or within a couple of hours. Literally a couple of hours. It seems to go. Yeah. So basically, my immune system must be sky high now. And with the COVID period as well, I didn't get any COVID, nothing. So,
have you ever had COVID?
No.
Oh.
No.
Wow.
Nothing.
So, I have picked that up twice, but I haven't been really ill with it.
Obviously, and people say, you're mad going in and everything, but we all have our little benefits. Yeah. If I suddenly stopped going in, I'd get cold the next day.
And I tell you what, if I don't get a chance to get in for the weather or you're away on holiday, you really, really miss it. You really miss that high.
You're fed up.
You do. It gets a bit of an addiction, doesn't it?
We are addicts.
Yeah,
Come on, we are all addicts.
And in the summer, we're like 3 and 4 times a day.
I know, that's unbelievable.
Every little opportunity, I'm just going to be late for work because I'm having that swim.
And if it is a bit rough and we haven't been in for a few days, we all get a bit moody, don't we?
Yeah.
We get a bit grouchy. Yeah. Even my other half, Donna, she says, you need to get in the sea.
Yeah.
now, obviously, Andrea, you've got a partner too with Tees. Yeah. He sometimes goes in the sea as well, doesn't he?
He does enjoy it, but he's not an addict.
No. So what does he think about your habit? What does he think of you coming in with sand everywhere and getting up early, sneaking out? What do you think about that?
You'd have to ask him. He understands. I guess he thinks, oh, well, if she's happy, I'm happy. Because if she's miserable, then the whole house is miserable. Yeah. So I guess he thinks, oh, let her get on with it. She's happy. He likes his thing. He goes to the gym. We've always done exercise. So for me, this is part of my exercise routine. I have a little swim, a jog up the beach before I get in to warm up. So if I'm happy, he's happy. Happy wife, happy life.
That's right. And, of course, we all mention this. Well, one of the worst parts of it, I mean, we all love the sea, we all love the sand, but that sand does get everywhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does moan about that.
Yeah, that does get everywhere.
Yeah.
Just changing the subject quickly, folks. We've actually just been in this morning. It's what's the time now? About 7:45, something like that.
Yep.
And it's raining.
Yep.
So we had to get in early doors because there's a storm forecast. So we have
Storm
been in the sea.
Storm
Bert. And we're sitting in my car doing this podcast with Izzy.
Hello, Izzy Wizzy.
Our little lifeguard dog who comes down with us in the sea as well. Hello, Izzy. Well, we're going to have a little... Well, today we haven't got Elliot to deliver his random fact about this subject. So, I'm going to deliver a little random fact. And shall we have a little drum roll for it? There we go. Well, a random fact for today. Outdoor swimming is fast becoming mainstream. A mainstream pastime in the UK, with an estimated 7.5 million venturing into rivers, lakes, lidos and seas. Now, that's quite an impressive fact, isn't it? I mean, there's an estimated 7.5 million people in the UK are venturing into the cold water with like lidos, lakes and everything like that. But it seems to be a growing thing nowadays, doesn't it? The cold water swimming in general, so many people you do see who want to try it, or who are going in the sea. Now, we do see a few light swimmers in here, don't we?
But in the summer.
Rarely in the winter.
Yeah, not in the winter.
I'll tell you what, though, one of the things I love the best, I'll ask you to Actually, I'll ask you first before I say mine. Tracy, what do you like the best about going in the sea in the winter?
The reaction from the public.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, have you been in today?
That is probably, I'd agree with that. That's probably my favourite bit, apart from the obvious with the health benefits and the immune system and the natural high you get, and telling people at work that I've just been in the sea, and that's that constant look of disbelief, isn't it?
Yeah.
And sort of when you're on the beach and you see the dog walkers coming up, like yesterday when we were in, those people were taking photos, looking at us in total disbelief, thinking, what nutters.
Yeah, no wetsuits, just in a swim trunks or swimsuits.
So that is probably the best bit, the look of disbelief from people and surprising everyone. What about you, Andrea? What do you reckon?
Funnily enough, I like the actual cold shock when you first get in.
Yeah.
Although it is horrendous.
Yeah.
In the winter,
Yeah.
I actually enjoy that.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Is there? Now, so many people have said, well, to all of us, when we do this, oh, you wouldn't catch me in there. And they probably wouldn't even go in there in the summer months.
No.
They wouldn't dare think of it in the winter. But if they tried it...
Yeah. They would. They'd love it. Yeah.
Then they would love it. They would understand.
Yeah.
Now, I've always thought... well, we'll go on to that subject later. But what changes do you make from going in the sea in the summer to now? Like, for instance, with me, slowly bringing the gloves and the socks, and you slowly bring in more. Is there any changes that you have to do to prepare yourself before you do these challenging winter swims?
I just make sure I've got layers for when I get out, because getting in isn't the issue. No. It's when you get out and it's cold and the air's cold around you. Is
there a little routine that you both have before you go in the winter? Do you have a little routine yourself, what you stick to, what will help you get through it, what will help you get in those colder days?
No, the only thing that helps me get in is you lot being there.
Yes, you lot being there. But the only thing that I have to change, that I hate, is I have to change from my Crocs that I run in.
Right.
And you have to have socks put on because it's quite hard to do when it's cold.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Gloves and maybe scarves and wellies, maybe ankle wellies instead of Crocs.
That's it. I mean, apart from the obvious, with all the extra clothes, I think, well, for me personally, the warm-up jog is key.
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely.
Getting that core temperature up with your hat on, your gloves on, and your coat on. Have a little warm-up jog, or if you can't run, a brisk walk. A brisk walk for a good few minutes up and down the shoreline, so you feel yourself warmed up, and then in quick. Now, I sort of like to go in. I like to go in slowly, controlling like my breathing, in out. Mind over matter. We're going to do this, and slowly submerge your shoulders, and then keep moving.
Yeah, the key is to keep moving.
The key is to keep moving, and in sort of temperature-wise for the sea, it's about 8-9 degrees now, I'd say.
Yeah, I think Joe said the lady
8.5
at Galston said 8.2 or something, wasn't it? I don't know.
Pretty much the lowest we experience is 4 to 5.
Last year was 4, weren't it? I think.
For like Feb. So that's when it gets really challenging, isn't it? That's when your hands are going numb.
Oh,
when
you can't feel anything.
And that is sort of really tough, isn't it?
And we call it duddering.
Exactly. That's real challenging, isn't it?
Yeah.
And sometimes with an after drop,
you still have to do it.
Yeah.
It takes a while, doesn't it? It takes a while to warm up.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's worth it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Tracy, have you got any advice? If someone came up to you, if say you're walking home with Izzy, and someone said, "Oh, Tracy, I know you go in the sea a lot. How can I start? What advice can you give to me for starting?"
Just get down there and get in.
yeah, that's a good one.
I'd say don't start till the summer months now, because to start doing this in November now, isn't it?
Yeah.
In November would be stupid.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Start in the spring.
Yep.
And build yourself up and try and keep going through the winter months.
That's right, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what I've said. I mean, a few people have asked me, there's 2 or 3 customers who I go to, they've asked me, they've said, "Oh, I'd love to do that." Say, "Oh, how do you sort of do it? What do I need? Do I need wetsuits?" I say, "No, you don't need anything like that.
No.
All you got to do is start..."
Determination, that's what you need.
Determination. So, it's like exactly the same. Start in the warmer months, May, June. I'd say certainly going regularly. I mean, I know some people work and that, even if it's just weekends, even just a couple of times a week, but make sure you go in regularly.
Yeah.
So when that temperature starts to drop, you can acclimatise to it.
Yeah.
And you slowly get used to that drop in temperature. And that's when you'll know yourself what you need to bring in. With like the neoprene gloves or the socks, and like personally, I just use the gloves and the socks in the winter and some shorts, and that is it.
We forgot to mention the hot drink and lovely ginger, pure ginger in hot water is a lovely. It warms you all the way through.
Yeah, because that's one of the main things that we look forward to, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that warm up cuppa or an optional cold drink in the summer.
Yeah.
So like now we're sitting in the car having that warm up cuppa.
And that's another benefit. We get all our troubles off our chest at cup
yes,
time.
that's right. And like,
Yeah, we do.
And of course, it's a motivation, isn't it? I mean, there's no way that I could do this, especially in the winter. In the summer, yeah, it's fine. I could easily go in my own. But in the winter, that's hard to drag yourself out of bed, isn't
And that's one of the worst things. It's dark. You're getting out of a nice warm bed.
Yep.
You're throwing on your swim gear.
Yeah.
And you're coming out in the cold.
That's right.
In the dark.
Yep.
Because we normally swim at sunrise.
Yeah. And especially Jan and Feb, like those mornings. Say, like I know I don't go in quite as much as you like, but I'll go in sort of three or four times a week.
You've been very good these last few weeks, Dave.
But you three go in sort of probably nearly much every day. But yeah, those cold, especially Jan and Feb. It might be a Tuesday morning, and it's freezing cold outside. It's 0, and you're thinking, I'm going to be in the sea in 30 minutes. Now, that is a real challenge, isn't it? But that's where a group of people comes in. If you've got someone to go in with, it motivates you, doesn't it?
You don't want to let your friends down, do you?
No, exactly. But, I couldn't probably do it on my own. So if you want motivation, find a local group in your area and join that group and start from there. And, before we are heading to the end of our podcast now. About
already?
Yeah, it was normally 15 to 20 minutes, and it's hammering it down with rain, and it'd be good to all get back, wouldn't it, folks?
Yeah.
So, but before we finish this one, at the moment, with Joanne as well, who wasn't with us today, but she might be in another one if we cover this subject, we're doing a little challenge, aren't we? And we are doing a cold dipper day in November for multiple sclerosis. So, and folks, if you're not sure what multiple sclerosis is, it's a lifelong condition that affects the brain and the nerves. And we're doing this challenge to raise awareness and some money to help people living with MS. So, Andrea, you chose this challenge. You're the one to blame for getting this in every single day.
Sorry about that.
So, but it's a charity close to your heart, isn't it?
It is. So my daughter was diagnosed with MS when she was 23, which is absolutely shocking and horrifying and... all those things. Very upsetting for everybody. But what we try and do, or I try and do, is something every year to raise money for the MS research and to support people with MS. Touch wood, luckily she's doing very well and has an infusion every 6 weeks, but there's a lot of people out there who aren't doing so well, so they get support, and the more money we can give to research, obviously... one day soon, hopefully, they'll find a cure for it.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's the challenge. We get in every day in November.
Yep.
Which has been a challenge.
It has been challenged. And it can include a cold pool, a cold shower, obviously a lake, laying in the surf, like what we've had to
do and endure.
Yeah,
because it was too rough to get
everywhere,
in.
Gravel rush.
That's right. And I think so far, Tracy, I think you had one cold shower day, didn't you? Joanne's had a couple of cold shower days. Andrea, you were away, so you did a cold pool, didn't you?
I did one of those plunge pool things that you can have in your garden, the blow-up one.
And we've been doing photos every day, and that picture of Andrea going in that plunge pool, I think it was on the third day, that was a classic. It was like the grimace on your face.
Oh, it's worse than getting in the sea.
Definitely worse than getting in the sea. The cold shower is worse than getting in the sea. And a cold shower.
Well, luckily I've escaped all that. Luckily we managed to get in the sea.
You've done so well, Dave.
But there's been about 3 or 4 occasions where we've had to lie in the surf because it's been too rough to get in. And I've been told off, haven't I?
Oh, you've had a red card, Dave.
I've had a Caister-on-Sea disciplinary for getting in the sea when I shouldn't have done.
No,
his
it
head
was too
disappeared
rough.
under the water. We couldn't see him, and we thought we were on the 999 job.
Yeah. But if anyone wants to check that page out or to donate or see any pictures, it's the Just Giving page, isn't it?
It's Just Giving, yeah.
Caister-on-Sea.
Yeah.
Caister-on-Sea. And Well, folks, we've had a morning swim, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kicked off our weekend.
Yeah, we're all fresh as daisies.
We're all
now.
done and dusted, and we will be buzzing about the place for the rest of the day, while everyone's slowly getting up.
Yeah.
Yeah, some
So-
people are still in bed.
Yeah.
We're done and dusted.
And if you're thinking about cold water swimming and you'd like to try it, well, yeah, just do some research and give it a go.
Yeah.
And from 3 people here, and of course Joanne, who's not with us today, but she comes in with us as well. We all enjoy it, and we are looking forward to this winter swimming. It's going to be a challenge, as always, when there's ice about and everything. But thanks for listening, and from Tracy, we'll say goodbye,
Thank you. Goodbye.
and Andrea will say goodbye.
Thanks for listening.
And thank you to our 2 guests tonight. And see you next time on Everyday Life. Just fade that out. There we go.